Hey guys, hope y'all are doing well today. So today we're going to do a video talking about gear, specifically remote controllers, transmitters, and radios. All three of those terms mean the same thing. I kind of use them interchangeably, but anyway, moving on. This is the Taranis QX7. I've been using it for about 2.5 years, and it's a really good radio for the price. The standard version of this comes in at about $100. It doesn't come with the Hall sensor gimbals that I've put in here. That's the, it comes with just potentiometer based gimbals, but it's about 110 bucks. And as, for a budget radio, this is the best one there is out there. It does telemetry, it's got really good range, it's got all the switches you can ever need, it's got average ergonomics. And yeah, if you're looking to spend just $100 on a radio, this is the one for you. However, I've gotten a lot better as a pilot over the past 2 years, and this thing is kind of starting to hold me back, namely the ergonomics of this radio. So, the thing about the Taranis is, Taranis radios, FR Sky radios come with really long throw gimbals, and what that means is that the distance that the gimbal can move is a little bit longer than on most radios. Now that's good because it gives you a little bit more resolution on all of the gimbal movement, but in the case of the QX7, the ergonomics of this radio are not great, and the problem is the actual shell of this thing. So when I hold this radio, I hold it like this. So the palm of my hand is actually pretty far away from the furthest position on the gimbal. So what that means is that when I go to try to reach in to the inside, it just feels awkward. Like it doesn't feel right. The consistency from left to right on both sides is really bad. And that was really holding me back, particularly in races. Like I'd be going around a race course and I'd be like, I'd go around like a left turn where you kind of have to mix roll and yaw together to get it to turn left, and I was like, just get in there, it won't turn left, and it was just really annoying. So I decided to upgrade to something else, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. So after a long time of doing a lot of research, looking at different radios on the market, looking at their pros and cons, looking for what I particularly want in a radio, which was ergonomic feel, slightly shorter gimbals, somewhat cheap price, and the ability to bind in FR Sky D16 and have that go down to 8 channels so I can get the lowest possible latency on an FR Sky link, because I fly mostly mini quads. And the thing that fit the bill was this. This is the brand new Jumper T16 Plus. Now, the Plus means that it comes with upgraded gimbals. This radio, price-wise, is about 160 bucks. It comes with Hall effect gimbals pre-installed, which are really awesome. And I just want to talk about kind of my first impressions of this radio. I've been using it for about a week now. I've bound it to all my models, no problem, even my D8 brushless Tiny Whoop quads. And yeah, so let's talk about just kind of my first impressions. This is not going to be a full-on in-depth review of this radio. If you want an in-depth review, I'll link Joshua Bardwell's review to this radio. His review is talking about the standard version of this, which comes with potentiometer-based gimbals, but the information is pretty much the same because those two radios are pretty much identical. The only difference are the gimbals. So, first things first, ergonomics. The ergonomics on this radio are way, way better than the QX7. It's a little bit narrower, as you can see. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it's kind of hard to show. But this radio is not as wide as the QX7, and your hands sit closer to the gimbal, so it feels a lot more natural to reach inside of the gimbal, like so. Like I'm noticing doing like you know left snap rolls and clockwise orbits are a lot easier on this compared to this. It's got a multi-protocol module in the back that can bind to a wide variety of things. It does bind in FrSky D16, and you can do the 8-channel thing to get the lower latency. And just real quick, I want to show you how you do that, because most review channels that I've seen on this thing don't actually cover this. So when you go into the model menu, like you see here, we're going to scroll down, and where it says bind, you want to select this D16 8-channel mode. Bind in that, and you'll get the low FrSky latency. Because look, see how I can't, let's see, I can't actually go in and select that 16, but they covered it just by binding it just in a different channel mode. There is, just really quick, does do FrSky D8, so if you got something like a Tiny Hawk, one of the Emacs Tiny Hawks that has a little D8 receiver, you can bind in D8 mode. And then there's also the standard D16, which gives you about 18 millisecond latency, but like I said, if you want to cut that latency in half, bind it in D16 8-channel mode, and you'll be golden. So anyway, other than that, the gimbals feel really nice. I did have to tighten them up a bit from stock. The stock settings and gimbals were really, really loose. I didn't really like that, which you can adjust them easily just by popping off this little back cover right here, and you can get at the gimbals. Make sure you have a really long and skinny Phillips head screwdriver to get in there. The only part that you can't get into to tighten is your throttle stiffness. If you want to tighten that up, you do have to pop the whole back side of the radio off, but that's really easy. Runs on two 18650 cells. Here's the multi-protocol module in the back. You can take that out. You can put Crossfire in it if you want to. And so for me, when I hold this radio, one thing I kind of like about it is, other than the ergonomics, is this is my arm switch. I have this set up as my arm switch. So this switch in the lowest possible position, that's my arm switch. And because of the size of my fingers, when both of these little switches right here, these 3 positions are in the bottommost, it kind of helps hold my finger in place, so my hand, it kind of forces my hand to stay still while I'm on the stick. My palm isn't moving up and down the gimbal, which gives her a much more connected flight experience. This little antenna right here, I do wish it was longer, but it works good. Just don't do a lot of flying behind yourself. And last but not least, it does work with Taranis QX7 gimbal protectors. These are, I got these from Brain 3D. They're just little gimbal protectors for the Taranis QX7. So look, there they are on the QX7. Take them off. You can put them on here, and that's pretty much it. So, so as far as cons on this radio, there are a couple. Number one, the screen, while it is gorgeous, it does kind of eat through your batteries. It takes two 18650s in the back. You can also power this by a 2-cell LiPo. I'll leave dimensions for the LiPo case just kind of somewhere on the screen. And, but yeah, it comes with 18650 tray already. You just have to supply your own 18650 cells. And it doesn't, in the multi-protocol module, it's an actual external module, so you can't run Crossfire and this at the same time, so you have to kind of interchange one or the other. And as far as like, if I could change one thing about this radio, I think it would be, like, okay, still sell this radio as it is with a multi-protocol module, but I think it would be really cool to give people the option of just let us buy this radio without the multi-protocol module, and let us put in whatever transmitter module we want. I mean, we already do that with our FatTracks. So for those of you who don't know, FatTrack Gargles, when you pay for them, it's just the goggle itself. If you, there's no receiver module built in. You can spend however much you want and buy your own. So if you want like the best of the best, you can slap that in there, or if you want to buy a more budget-friendly thing, you can put that in. It works with a lot, this works with a lot of different modules. And I think it would be kind of cool to give people the option to run whatever they want in the back here from the get-go. So for example, if you just want to run Crossfire, just buy this as a standalone radio, or let us buy this as a standalone radio without this multi-protocol thing in the back, and then that would enable us to save some money on our Crossfire thing. Or if we just want to run Spectrum, you just pay for this, buy a Spectrum module in the back, and you're good to go. Or if you want to buy this in the multi-protocol module, you know, that's an option. So I think that would be really cool, but like I said, that's just a really small critique. As it is, as an overall package, this radio is really, really phenomenal. I really like it. I'm really, really happy with it. This is actually $20 less than the Taranis X7S, which is the QX7 with the Hall sensor gimbals already pre-installed. So you're already saving 20 bucks with this guy compared to this, and it's just a lot more ergonomic. The ergonomics on this thing are amazing. It supports Crossfire out of the box. You don't have to do any hardware mods to it, and just overall, I'm really, really happy with it. So, oh, one last thing. There's a port right here. This is where the USB mini cable plugs in to run simulators, which I feel like that's something FR Sky should have done, because on the QX7, it's on the bottom. So I like to stand when I practice on the sim, just because I stand when I fly, and every time I'm flying, it feels like the radio is like stabbing me in the stomach. And not only that, but it's like poking up, and it's always trying to pivot when I'm trying to move my hands. Just why? Why, FR Sky? Why'd you do that? Just put it on the front, please. That way it's not stabbing anybody. You don't have to worry about breaking it when you put the radio down, because it's not on the bottom like it is on the X9D. But yeah, so really cool thing, Jumper. Thanks for that. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this first impressions video. Thank y'all for watching. I hope this was informative for you guys. If you're in the market looking for a new radio, or maybe you're looking to upgrade your radio, if you can spend a little bit more and get up to $160, I recommend this. I picked this up from Defiance RC. I'll leave the link to their website down below. So anyway, that's gonna do it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!